Hey everyone, today we're going to dive into the story of Radonix, and it's a really cool one. It's a journey that starts with, just a teenager's hobby and somehow blossoms into a global tech company. It's all about passion, a ton of innovation, and just plain old persistence. So how does that even happen, right? How does a hobby turn into, well, that? This whole story, it doesn't start with some fancy business plan or a boatload of cash. Nope. It starts with just a spark of curiosity. It's kind of like that classic garage to greatness story, but for the industrial world.
All right, let's set the scene, rewinding all the way back to the early 90s. Picture this, a teenager totally obsessed with electronics and computers. This is where it all kicks off. This is the spark that lights the whole fire.
And you can really see how this obsession just grows and grows. Look at this timeline. In the early 90s, we're talking about soldering simple circuits, designing little boards, classic hobbyist stuff. But then, by the late 90s, things get serious. It's not just a hobby anymore. It's a university project building a 2-axis CNC scanner. A few years later, in the early 2000s, it's not just a scanner. It's a full-blown 3-axis CNC machine, built from the ground up. This isn't just reading books. This is over a decade of getting your hands dirty. And that all leads to 2006, co-founding a company to build these machines for the wood industry. I mean, what an evolution.
So the company's up and running, they're building entire machines, and things are going well. But then they hit this fork in the road. They have to make a really big decision, a pivotal choice that's going to define everything that comes next. And this was the choice they were facing. On one hand, they could keep building the entire machine. The heavy steel frame, the mechanics, the whole shebang. But that meant competing in a super crowded market. Or they could do something different. They could focus on just one thing, the brain of the machine, the controller. It's like, do you want to build a decent car or do you want to build the absolute best engine in the world? They decided to focus on the brain. And boom, that one decision in 2007 is when the Radonix brand was officially born. Their mission became crystal clear. Forget everything else and just create the world's most reliable industrial controllers. That's it. So what's the first thing they build under this new brand? This beast, the PC100 controller. And this thing was a statement. It had this rugged metal case, tons of inputs and outputs, which is basically the nervous system connecting the brain to all the moving parts, and it could control up to 6 different axes with incredible precision. This wasn't just a product, it was proof of their new mission. Okay, so now that they're laser focused on just the controller, they can start solving problems that nobody else was. And there was this one huge, super frustrating problem that was driving machine operators absolutely crazy in workshops everywhere. And here's what was going on. Industrial workshops are just electrically chaotic. You've got all these massive motors and machines running, creating a ton of electrical noise. And this noise was just wrecking the USB connections to the controllers. I mean, can you imagine? You're in the middle of a really complex, expensive cut, and boof, the connection drops and the machine just stops. It was a nightmare. So how do you fix that? Well, this is where things get really clever. Instead of trying to put a Band-Aid on USB, which, let's be honest, was designed for your desk, not a factory floor, they looked somewhere else entirely. They looked at computer networking, and they realized, wait a minute, Ethernet, the LAN cable you plug into your router? It was designed from day one to be super stable and immune to noise. It was the perfect solution, just hiding in plain sight. And the impact of this switch was just massive. The PC Pro LAN controller, which came out between 2012 and 2014, was a total game changer. All those noise-related disconnects? Gone. Machine stability? It went through the roof. Suddenly, Radonix had this reputation for being absolutely bulletproof. Machine builders started choosing them for that reliability alone. And once you get a reputation for being that reliable, word gets around. Fast. Between 2016 and 2021, their controllers just started showing up everywhere. We're talking woodworking, high-precision metal cutting, even really unique one-off special-purpose machines. They became the go-to choice for tough jobs. All right, so the company is flying high, and then the world throws a huge curveball at them. But what's amazing is how this massive global challenge didn't just slow them down, it actually pushed them to create their most advanced tech ever. You've probably heard the saying, constraint is the mother of invention. Well, this was the ultimate test of that. The global semiconductor crisis hits, and suddenly, the main computer chips they used in all their controllers, they were impossible to find, gone. For a lot of companies, that was game over. But Radonix saw it as an opportunity to completely reinvent their product from the inside out.
And this is what that reinvention looked like. It led to the birth of the Smart Series. So, step 1. They switched to a whole new core platform based on ARM processors. That's the same kind of super efficient chip that's probably in your phone. Step 2, they developed a new way to generate motion signals without needing a specific, hard-to-find chip. And then they integrated other components right onto the board to make it more flexible. And the result? The most stable, noise-proof controller they had ever made. They literally turned a crisis into a better product.
But of course, they didn't just stop there. Building on that success, they started looking at the next big thing. And that's what they call the Radonix Lego project. And why Lego? Well, because they realized that one size doesn't fit all. Machine builders need to mix and match. So this is a fully modular system. You can literally click together different modules, a module for motion, a module for inputs, a module for outputs, to build the exact control system your machine needs. It's all about total flexibility. And get this, pilot units are already out there being tested in real factories.
Which brings us pretty much to today. 2024 has been all about taking this incredible technology and going global. And it's not just about selling more stuff. It's a huge strategic shift. They've restructured their teams to have people focus just on the international market. They've rebuilt all their technical documentation so anyone, anywhere in the world, can understand and use their tech. They've launched new websites for customers across Europe, Asia, and North America. It's a massive push to transform from a great product company into a true global brand.
So, when you step back and look at the whole story, it's pretty amazing. This journey that started with a kid soldering circuits in his room over 30 years ago, it's not slowing down, it's actually speeding up. The story of innovation is still being written. And that's why it ends with a question, a challenge really, to all the builders and creators out there. With this next generation of control at your fingertips, what are you going to build?